So Valma's second season, I won't lie, I'm just gonna dive straight into the deep end. The humor is good at parts. I find myself laughing at parts, but there is actually like a overflooding of jokes in the show, which kind of takes me out of feeling for the story and what's happening in the story. That's for one. Compared to the first season, which did have jokes, but it wasn't that funny. I remember not laughing as much as I'm laughing in these first two episodes and a half. I also want to clarify that I only did watch the first two episodes and a half of the third episode. Yeah, I'm just laughing more with this new season of Valma. I don't know if they added new writers, maybe they did, and if they did, it shows. With all the jokes and with the comedy that does land, obviously there's a lot of comedy that doesn't land. I guess the only thing I can give the show is the somewhat self-aware humor that it does have. Because outside of, the comedy, the story isn't interesting to me. I'm not like pulled into the story, and maybe it's because of the way they're telling it. So there's just so much jokes written into like every sentence that every character speaks. Every sentence that every character speaks, they are going to say a joke, almost like guaranteed. If they're not, just saying what's happening right now. It's like 90% jokes, 10% like actual moving the plot forward. And the problem with that comes into where it's like you're trying to grip me into the show. You want me to watch the next episode, but I don't care. And what was driving me in season one was, yeah, it wasn't funny. I ultimately didn't care. And although I did want to see what happened to Velma's mom in the first season, I ultimately didn't care. Like, I'm pretty sure we were all there just to see what would it, like, what's the new Scooby Doo reference that they would add in this, new episode. And that's kind of what I'm watching it for now as well. But it does seem to be funnier. They seem to be adding more Scooby Doo references. They seem to be moving to introducing Scooby Doo. I know that they do. So this problem that I have with it just has to do with the writers of the show, and that's that when it comes to novel, when it comes to, and I'm not saying this in any like sexist way or whatever. I don't care, right? But when it's like affecting the characters and like how you're supposed to like feel and the attachment that you feel for what's happening to the characters, then I care. And what I'm getting at is Novel, or Shaggy, right? Novel killed. I guess he had to, or like, I can't remember. I don't care. But he killed Fred's mom at the end of the last season, at the end of season one, and he's suffering with PTSD, suffering with guilt, all sorts of shit. I want to say the animation is very good. Like everything, like this show is, it's good in a lot of areas, but it just fumbles in a lot of areas as well. It's just annoying. The show is just like annoying because there's just too many jokes, right? But anyway, so we're now following Novels. It seems like we're following his nightmares instead of Valma's nightmares, like in the first season, which is cool. I get it, and I guess as the show goes on, I'm gonna feel more for him. But right now, they put more effort, or at least the writers know how to write a scene between Valma and Daphne. So to explain my point, I need to explain the scenes that I'm talking about. There's a scene with Valma and Daphne. They're sitting on the bed, right, and they're talking about some shit. That is like the only time that the show is actually like taking a break and just let it go. Just let the characters talk like normal people. Any other time, they're just talking like just comedic smart asses. You know what I'm saying? It's just like not real. It's just the writer's mind. When it comes to novels, PTSD of killing Fred's mom, I don't feel it. Like it's not the writing isn't there for novel. I'm starting to feel it. And obviously you will start to feel it after you've seen it for 2.5 episodes. I felt it less than like one scene with Velma and Daphne. I guess that just has to do with the writers. Maybe like it's just like a group of women in the writers' room, so they don't know how to write men communicating. They don't know how to like write men like chilling by themselves or like how men go through things. I'm just speculating, right? I'm not. I'm just speculating because that's what it feels like. I'm not talking about any other area of the show. I'm specifically talking about this area of the show. It's like I just noticed that Novel's going through all this shit, but I've felt less for Novel in 2 episodes than I have of this like one scene with Valma and Daphne sitting having a discussion on the bed because they're talking like real people. Because they sound like real people talking. And everything you see from every other character in the show is just comedic lines everywhere all the time. And it gets annoying. It gets annoying. But season two did surprise me somewhat. I will say that I was expecting a lot worse. So maybe that's why I'm like so surprised. But I have to point out like at least what feels wrong to me, what feels right to me, what I feel like, it's working for me. But yeah, that's been VELMA, episode 2.5. Well, episodes until two and a half. I need to finish it. I definitely can't wait to watch VELMA. I'm not rushing to finish it, but I don't mind seeing how Scooby is introduced, how the gangs formed. As season one of VELMA, that's what we just waiting for that references. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you think of VELMA season 2. If you've seen it, tell me what you think below. I low-key enjoyed some of the humor in Velma, but I'm just not feeling the story somewhat. There's too many jokes, flies over your head. The characters are just written inconsistently. The discussion with Daphne and Velma sitting on the bed, talking like real people, is like the only sense of like actual dialogue that you're gonna get. Otherwise, novel dealing with PTSD and that it's not doesn't feel as real. But I'm not finished with the show. Let's see what comes next. Don't roast me too hard. Actually, roast me if you want to. Uh, like, dislike if you enjoyed. If you didn't enjoy, appreciate your time. Have a good day.